As MASH's 10th season drew to a close, the cast were uncertain about whether or not to sign on for an 11th. Only 3 actors, Harry Morgan, Jamie Farr, and William Christopher, were solidly behind sticking around, and they pushed the others hard to agree to do one last season. Eventually, they won the rest of the cast over for a shortened 11th season, which ran from October until February of 1983, whose final episode was watched by 106 million viewers. No mean feat in a nation with only 85 million TV sets at the time, and a record for scripted television that still holds today. CBS and 20th Century Fox were desperate to hold on to as much of MASH's audience as possible, and started exploring a spin-off even before the last season went into production. They had no problem recruiting the only 3 actors who talked the others into one last hurrah. The idea for the show's setting came from Jamie Farr, who remembered a conversation he'd had with Alan Alda about whatever had happened to all the patients that had been treated at the 407 7th during the war. He pitched the idea of setting the show at a stateside veterans hospital, but CBS were reluctant. Some network executives felt it was a little too maudlin and suggested doing a show where Klinger moved in with Colonel Potter as a sort of 1950s odd couple. Morgan and Farr vetoed that idea. CBS finally approached Larry Gelbart, who had developed MASH for television in the first place and who had left during the show's 4th season. He liked the Veterans Hospital idea, feeling it would be a natural continuation of MASH, and so the seeds would start being planted for a spin-off. 3 continuing storylines in the last season of MASH led to Klinger marrying his Korean girlfriend Sun Lee, played by Rosalind Chow, Potter deciding to retire from the army once the war was over, and Father Mulcahy losing his hearing after an explosion. These developments were all designed to set up for the 3 characters destined to be spun off so that they would have to deal with the war's aftermath. Or, if you would, its AfterMASH. Rounding out the core of the cast were John Chappell as Hospital Administrator Michael D'Angelo, J.O. Sanders as young surgeon and Potter protege Gene Pfeiffer, Barbara Townsend as Potter's wife Mildred, and Brandis Kemp as Secretary Alma Cox. AfterMASH debuted on September 26, 1983 in MASH's old-time slot, Monday nights at 9. The pilot saw Potter having trouble adapting to civilian life.
Wasn't long before I found myself doing everything I'd so looked forward to. Took me a few days to understand that it's crabgrass and not the meek that will inherit the earth. Painting the place, fixing the screens, being generally helpful took me all of 2 weeks. Our social life got pretty much back to normal. 1 club. Normal for people our age, that is.
1 diamond. Pass. Drat. Not the end of the world, Sheriff.
Clifford? Anytime. It is the end of the world. He's dead.
Bored with having nothing to do, he decided to start seeing patients again, only to discover that his bedside manner had deteriorated while in the army.
Take off your dress, please.
Then I'd like a nurse in here.
Come again?
If I'm going to get undressed, I'd like a nurse to be present.
Are you serious? Doris Gardena, do you realize the first time I saw you without a dress, you had an umbilical cord sticking out of your belly button?
But I'm a grown woman now.
Whatever you've got now is what you had then. It's all just blown up a bit, that's all. And I've seen hundreds of what you've got. And thousands of what I've got. A doctor is a doctor, not a date. Now, you either trust me or you don't. Because if you insist on a nurse being in here for your examination, she's going to have to take her dress off, too.
Still wanting to be useful, Potter goes to inquire about the possibility of a job at General Pershing Veterans Hospital, or General as the staff referred to it, and stumbles into a job running the place.
And this wigwam belongs to the Chief of Staff / Chief of Surgery. All the medical departments are under him. He only has to report to me. It's a big job. Pays $12,000 a year.
Sounds like a sweet deal.
You'll take it?
You're offering it?
Yes. The former chief and I had to part company. Good man, but very uncooperative. We were always locking horns. Never satisfied he was. Some people will kick even if they're hung with a new rope. With your years of medical experience, your ability to command, you're just ideal. I think your face belongs in this seat.
The first new staff member Potter recruits, his old friend Max Klinger, whose life has taken an interesting turn.
I feel so blessed, Max. If only I could share my happiness with you.
Okay, buddy, let's go see the judge. Maybe a medic, an orderly, a clerk. And most of what they told me to do, I couldn't unless I lied a little, stole a little. Somebody grab you and say, the ambulance is full. Corporal, go get a truck. Only you ain't got a truck. So you run down the road and you see a driver from some other outfit in the woods with a copy of Stars and Stripes and his pants are down, and then suddenly you got a truck. Get you a laugh in the Army. Here, that gets you 2 years.
Or 3.
Anyhow, it's been no bowl of roses coming back. I married a wonderful girl overseas. Wonderful. But believe me, Eva Braun wouldn't get the kind of look she gets over here. We'll be all right, though. All I need is time, Your Honor. Not the kind of time you give out. I gotta learn to stop taking shortcuts. I gotta put the war, the conflict, whatever the hell they tell me I went through, I gotta put it behind me.
You think you can make that adjustment?
I once picked up a heart with my bare hands that slipped out on the table during an operation. I used to have to throw away arms and legs that weren't even 20 yet. In between, I was sleeping on a 2-inch thick mattress full of 3-inch thick bugs and eating food that was pre-barfed before we got it. Your Honor, if I can adjust to that. It's from my CO, sir, Colonel Sherman Potter. He's offered me a job in the VA as his clerk in Missouri. He says I can begin right away and take a civil service test later.
This could be a fresh start for you.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Have you got money to get there? If I let you go, you're not going to steal a train or anything.
No, Your Honor.
All set to start tomorrow?
I wish I could tell you how grateful I am, sir. Both of us.
This cigar imported from Toledo is all the thanks I need.
They make them right next to the rubber factory.
And then an unexpected phone call puts the last piece of the puzzle into place.
Sister Angelica, I'm calling from Philadelphia. My brother is Francis Mulcahy.
Oh, how is your brother the father, sister? Uh-huh. Oh. Is he there? Would you put him on, please?
Francis?
They try to tell us we're too young.
Drunk?
Too young to really be in love.
As a skunk.
Mulcahy's hearing is somewhat restored by a groundbreaking operation that Potter assists in, and he agrees to become a chaplain at the hospital.
That was quite an accomplishment, getting Edwards to walk.
We'll see. Tomorrow, I'll try him on water.
I'm serious. There's an awful lot of work to be done across the road.
You don't realize it, but I've seen it.
I was talking with Reverend Foley. We'd both be tickled pink if you'd consider joining us at General.
Joining you? You mean work there?
Transfer in from your diocese. We've got no priest, and about a steady 10% of our patients are Catholics.
10%? Well, we're a young firm, but we're growing.
AfterMASH premiere pulled in a whopping 100 million viewers, almost as many people as had watched the MASH finale. The ratings dropped a bit after the premiere and slid a little more as weeks went on, but they stayed strong enough for AfterMASH to end its first season as the second highest rated news show of the year, and the 15th rated show overall. It was official. AfterMASH was a hit. So, what happened? While AfterMASH was a ratings hit, the critics were less kind to it, and the network started panicking. Deciding early on that the character of Dr. Pfeiffer just wasn't working, the network demanded he be replaced. So Pfeiffer was phased out, and David Aykroyd was hired to play a new protege for Potter, Dr. Boyer, who had lost a leg during the war.
No blemishes on your surgical performance.
Dead men tell no tales.
And you did some cutting in Korea. That means something to me.
Means something to me, too.
How's the leg?
Getting better all the time. In fact, it only hurts when I'm questioned at length.
Battalion aid surgeon, plenty tough duty. I'm familiar with that territory. I ran the MASH 4077.
Oh, MASH, the suburbs. That's where we went for R&R. I did envy you fellas, though, safe and cozy. When we asked for a scalpel by the light of the silvery tracers, we were lucky if we didn't get it from a North Korean.
I'm not a fan of violin music.
I know the score, Doc. Tokyo got the cream, you guys went to MASH's, and us butchers got sent out to battalion aid. I'm ruining your neighborhood, right?
Look, mister, you've been through hell, and for that you have my sympathy, but otherwise, tough. We made it back, which for my money is all that's important. Regardless of what you may think, when you walked into this office, it was with a clean slate, which you can now kiss goodbye. But you're here, that tells me you want to work, except you do it my way or no way. Now get out of here, get to it, and welcome aboard.
Boyer was introduced in the same episode as a guest shot by Gary Berghoff as former Corporal Radar O'Reilly, who invites his old buddies to his wedding. The ratings stayed strong, with AfterMASH usually coming in 5th for the week. Maybe not MASH numbers, but respectable nonetheless. But CBS had expected more, and executives knew just how to get it.
Colonel Potter, sir. Corporal Klinger. I'm Section 8, head to toe. I'm wearing a Warner bra. I play with dolls. My last wish is to be buried in my mother's wedding gown. I'm nuts. I should be out. Horse hockey.
With the season finale of AfterMASH having Klinger get into legal trouble again, CBS executives thought it would be hilarious to have Klinger go on the run disguised as a woman.
Why are you wearing a nurse's cap?
I had to. They won't let you wear the rest of the uniform without it.
Here you go, little sport. The one in the dress is your father.
This one decision completely undid years of character development for Klinger on both shows and completely changed the tone of the spinoff. CBS also demanded that John Chappelle be replaced, so producers brought in Peter Michael Getz as the new hospital administrator, who was a little prickly, to say the least.
Tell me, Boyer, how many hours in a typical week do you find yourself operating?
I don't know, it varies.
Well, I'm sure it does, but would you say 12 to 15 hours sound about ballpark?
Sure.
And then you have rounds and follow-up. That's a lot of time on your feet, isn't it?
Listen, fella, I can do my job, and if you don't want to believe that, then you're full of crap.
Boyer, I like you. More than that, I respect you. That will and sheer determination you so often find in the handicapped. What a wonderful way to mask those feelings of inferiority. Don't ever lose that, Boyer, please.
The network also hated the character of Mildred Potter, unwilling to kill off Mildred after only being back with Sherman for a year. Producers decided to recast the role with Ann Pitoniak playing Mildred as more of a Gracie Allen-type character. And finally, CBS decided the best way to take advantage of his new hit was to put it into a knife-safe... never mind. They put AfterMASH up against the A-Team on Tuesday nights. The network called it counter-programming. The producers called it suicide. The changes alienated a lot of the audience that had stood by the show in its first season, and the schedule change killed off whatever was left. AfterMASH plummeted in a matter of weeks from 15th place to 66th in the ratings. On October 30th, 1984, CBS put AfterMASH on hiatus. They brought it back on December 4th, but the next week it was preempted for a much more important program.
Frosty the Snowman.
It wouldn't be back on the schedule until May 31st of 1985, and then after just one more episode, CBS pulled the plug. One episode would never be aired in America, and another finished script would never see production. In the end, AfterMASH demonstrated two basic truths of television. One, you can have a successful continuation of a popular series. And two, the fastest way to kill a good show is to listen to what the network wants.